Alright, let's click it here. Yeah, I'll give it a little bit more pump. I just want to hear that shit. Yeah, sounds good. Boom, boom, ticka, boom, boom, ticka, ticka. Alright, so this is how we EQ now. If you notice that, you can try and dial things in here, and there's some brilliant ways that you can really get in and understand what each of these frequency points can give you. Now for me, I've really learned that harmonizing your frequencies is a massive part of what constitutes really nice sounding sequences and bringing together of instruments. So EQ can be a really, really, really strong tool. A lot of people tend to not understand the drawbacks of EQing and doing really strong EQing like I've done here. There is linear phasing, a non-linear phasing that goes on right in these bands. So when we really push a peak and we do a big cut here, well, there's this low point and this high point, but right in the middle here you actually tend to suck down and cause a bit of phasing, which does cancel out the sound that's going on in there. Can give you some really nice interesting things going on, but you need to be very aware of where you're doing these cuts. So when we have a steep slope here, what in effect it's doing is probably round about this region here. So that'll be, if you look down in this area, you'll notice that when I put my pointer here, you'll see that that's the key of B, and that would be in effect from this very hard sloping high pass. You will find that B will actually be phased, and you will lose that frequency quite a bit in the output of what this channel is. Anyway, I don't fully understand that myself, but I suggest you go to the FabFilter plugins YouTube channel, and FabFilter have brilliant ways of explaining their lim EQ and how that manipulates sound and actually does cause quite drastic effects. They use an oscillator and they kind of go through what comes from that. But anyway, so one of my little techniques for EQing, getting in and understanding sound. So understanding up here, if you can have a look, you'll see that I've actually written the key and the chord. It's a Lydian diminished, and I'm not sure how you say that because I'm not very good with these things, but I basically read that as a C sharp, probably going down into like a D flat, I would say that's called. Please excuse me if I'm wrong, but I'm a bit of a noob when it comes to keys. I'm an old hip-hop head, rapper, producer kind of thing, so learning music theory is a very brand new thing for me and has only really come about since the Ableton push has sort of found its way into my production and really given me a musical edge without having as much understanding as probably I should. Kind of makes me feel like a bit of an imposter sometimes, but I make good beats, so screw it. Anyway, so as you can see, I've gotten this, which would be a C sharp if you're moving up the scale and a D flat moving down the scale. So as it shows down here, look down here as I come up to this 2, and that would be a C sharp, and that's the peak that I'm pushing that frequency. If you come over to this 5, it's on the D. I should actually maybe move that down a little bit. There we go. So we've got a bit of play. If I move that 5 around, you see, like that C lasts from about 539 hertz to it's a fair big spread to 570. Not to 7 is not too bad. I'll try and smack it in the middle, 557 there. Give it a bit of a push up. Now I'll turn off the EQ. You see how the bass is nice, but it's kind of swimming and overpowering a lot of what the song is offering. Put that, and then it kind of sucks it right back and mutes it a little bit, which is kind of what I wanted to do. I took a lot of those highs off as well with these. If I bring that back up, you'll hear a lot more of what the original sound was, so without, with. So it's a lot more controlled and a lot more in place with the rest of the frequencies and harmonizing with our song quite nicely. I think I'll leave that off. Anyway, yeah. So that's one of my nice new little things to understand about how to put instruments together in a specific way. I'm sorry that I'm talking so quiet, but it's 4:21 a.m. and I have a 5-month-old baby and his mother and my mother, the baby's grandmother, is sleeping a couple of rooms away, so I'm trying not to wake them up. Anyway, hope that inspires some people, gives you some ideas on how to maybe get a sound that you might really enjoy, but feel like it's just not quite sitting in there, being able to squeeze it in using this, understanding what key you're in. If you're using Ableton Push, it's quite easy to see what scale you've used and what the bass key is, and then kind of trying to push some of those frequencies. It's a very basic understanding of it. You know, of course, I've gone with what's here, but you could also go into that scale of the Lydian diminished and find what are the other notes, and if you chose, you could actually create a scale harmony with the frequencies of this instrument, and I give it a little bit more body and put it into a slightly different spot, give it a bit more upper harmonics, but using like whatever other keys are within that harmony scale. Yeah. So experiment, play around, and find what you can do with that, and let me know what you guys think. Okay, enjoy.